She actually hates Blake Lively over an affair.
Is that Blake Lively developed some feelings for Justin Baldoni. She has, been in love with Penn Badgley from, Gossip Girl, then she got with Ryan Reynolds.
Blake Lively, in my opinion, is no victim. It has been shown over and over that she is a terrible person. She is a bully. She deserves no sympathy.
Jennifer Garner isn't holding back. She's tearing into Blake Lively after dropping bombshells about an outrageous cheating scandal. And believe me, it's a train wreck. From Ben Affleck to Leonardo DiCaprio, Penn Badgley, and even Justin Baldoni, Blake's been romantically linked to half of Hollywood, all while still married to Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is now abusing his wife.
But honestly, can anyone be shocked if she's chasing real men while stuck in what many are calling a weird marriage with Ryan? And just to be clear, that's not my claim. That's the narrative taking over online ever since Jennifer's revelations started catching fire.
She hates Blake Lively over an affair.
Jennifer Garner, with her warm, grounded persona, has long been one of Hollywood's most adored figures. For decades, she's charmed audiences in classics like 13 Going on 30 and Alias, earning the public's affection as America's sweetheart.
There was the issue of Ben Affleck coming into the picture. Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck met in 2000 when making the movie Pearl Harbor.
With a career spanning over 20 years, she cultivated not just the image of a gifted actress, but also of the ideal wife and devoted mother. But behind the glossy magazine covers, the reality was far messier than anyone imagined.
But while that relationship worked, with the two being one of the biggest A-list couples in Hollywood, and Ben Affleck ended up proposing to Jennifer Lopez in 2002, giving her a $2.5 million engagement ring.
Jennifer Garner's pristine public image had always been intertwined with her marriage to Ben Affleck. Together, they were Hollywood's golden couple, affectionate, photogenic, and seemingly flawless. Married in 2005, they welcomed 3 children into a life that, from the outside, looked like a fairy tale.
Some Jennifer Lopez fans that made fun of Jennifer Garner because Ben Affleck gave her a $500,000 engagement ring compared to the $2.5 million engagement ring he gave Jennifer Lopez.
But as Garner's career soared, her personal life grew increasingly complicated. The cracks in her marriage to Affleck weren't just the usual Hollywood wear and tear. One of the biggest fractures had a name. And that name was Blake Lively, a rising star who would soon be linked to the unraveling of Garner's picture-perfect union.
Changed heavily relationship-wise in 2010 when Ben Affleck directed and also starred in the movie The Town and cast Blake Lively to be his girlfriend in the film.
It began when Affleck cast Blake Lively in The Town. Garner was already uneasy, but when Lively, then still carving her path in Hollywood, was given the role of Affleck's on-screen love interest, alarm bells started ringing louder than ever.
We're 38 years old at the time, while Blake Lively was just 23 years old, and there were a lot of scenes where Ben Affleck would be making out with her. To make it worse, Ben Affleck, who was the director of the movie, instructed Blake Lively to have several scenes where he makes out with her and also touches her body intensely.
During the film's press tour, their chemistry was impossible to ignore. Flirtatious banter in interviews, playful smiles, lingering glances, Lively seemed made for the role, both on screen and, as rumors began to swirl, off it too.
No objection from Blake Lively, who said she got along very well with Ben Affleck, and the two did a media tour together where many people in the press noticed they were flirting intensely during interviews.
Those early cracks in Garner and Affleck's marriage widened into deep fractures. The two were living increasingly separate lives, and Affleck's well-publicized battles with addiction only fueled the turmoil.
Point things got progressively worse for Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck's marriage, where Jennifer Garner actually had to check him in rehab because he was drinking obsessively.
Garner stepped in, taking charge and checking him into rehab in a last-ditch effort to salvage their family. But the years of public speculation, personal betrayal, whether with Lively or otherwise, and the relentless media circus had already taken their toll, leaving scars no amount of PR could hide.
Finally, in 2018, Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck got divorced, with the reason being cited that Ben Affleck was actually cheating on her with their kid's nanny. And they both moved on fairly quickly, where just 3 months later, Ben Affleck was in a relationship with Shauna Sexton, who was a Playboy model who was 22 years old, and he was 47 at the time.
By 2018, over a decade of marriage had unraveled into a divorce that everyone saw coming. Despite public attempts to stay civil for their children, it was clear that harmony between Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck had long since vanished.
People reported Jennifer Garner actually had another motivation for coming back for Deadpool and Wolverine, and that was saying that Ben Affleck's character of Daredevil was dead, which was some way of getting back at him.
Freed from the shadow of her high-profile marriage, Garner began focusing on her own growth. She found stability in businessman John Miller, whose quiet, grounded lifestyle was exactly the escape she needed. Meanwhile, Affleck's life continued spiraling through a carousel of relationships, including one with a 22-year-old model, proving Garner had chosen the right path forward.
2014, the studios wanted to work with Ryan Reynolds and Ben Affleck again on another movie which was described as a detective movie. The problem was Ben Affleck had to pull out of doing the movie because Jennifer Garner forbid Ben Affleck from working with the film on Ryan Reynolds because she knew she'd have to interact with Blake Lively.
Garner never publicly addressed Blake Lively's alleged role in her marital downfall, but her silence was deafening. Her refusal to collaborate with Lively during productions of The Atom Project and Deadpool 3 was a subtle yet unmistakable sign of unresolved resentment.
Another confirmation to the public that Ben Affleck and Blake Lively were linked together in an affair, and Jennifer Garner just never wanted to see her again, which is why she was refusing to do any events with her near her.
While the media lavished praise on Lively's performances and red carpet charm, Garner quietly bore the scars of betrayal, personal wounds inflicted by people who had crossed boundaries she never thought would be tested.
The Baldoni case has a full-blown cancel movement against her, where many people are calling her a homewrecker because of the Scarlett Johansson and also the Jennifer Garner case.
Blake Lively has cultivated an image as Hollywood's golden girl, yet her off-screen life often mirrors her on-screen romances. From her early days on Gossip Girl, she's been linked to a string of high-profile co-stars, keeping tabloids in overdrive. The timing and nature of her relationships have raised questions, particularly when they overlap suspiciously with her professional projects.
A big indicator was during this time, Blake Lively and her longtime boyfriend from Gossip Girl, Penn Badgley, also split up.
Her first headline-making romance was with Gossip Girl co-star Penn Badgley. On screen and off, they appeared to be the perfect couple. But when that relationship ended after several years, Lively wasted no time stepping into another high-profile Hollywood fling.
Even though there were very strong rumors of an affair, Jennifer Garner and Ben Affleck still stayed together, and Blake Lively later on began dating Leonardo DiCaprio.
By 2011, Blake Lively was suddenly linked to Leonardo DiCaprio, a man whose love life was already the stuff of tabloid legend. Their whirlwind, high-profile romance took them from the French Riviera to New York City, with paparazzi tracking every move. But what made it truly explosive was the timing. Lively was still married to Ryan Reynolds.
Very brief relationship until Blake Lively met Ryan Reynolds when filming the movie Green Lantern together. During that period, Ryan Reynolds was actually married to Scarlett Johansson, who he got married to after a brief relationship of dating for only 6 months in 2008. Like rumors that happened during filming The Town of Ben Affleck cheating on Jennifer Garner with Blake Lively, there were now new rumors of filming during Green Lantern of Ryan Reynolds cheating with Blake Lively on Scarlett Johansson.
That marriage too. Reynolds came in 2012, just months after her fling with DiCaprio fizzled out. The speed at which she pivoted from one of Hollywood's most eligible bachelors to a wedding aisle has fueled endless speculation. To this day, many wonder if Reynolds was a rebound or part of a carefully timed reinvention.
And from members of the Green Lantern crew who leaked information to the press that Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively were leaving their trailers to go get a hotel room and stay together while filming. The final nail in the coffin for Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson's marriage was Scarlett Johansson didn't attend the premiere for Green Lantern, but instead Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively were seen together like they were a married couple.
But history has a way of repeating itself. Lively's relationship with Reynolds followed the same pattern she had shown before, falling for her co-stars. While her public image was one of marital bliss, whispers about her lingering emotional attachments to past co-stars never really faded.
1 month later, Ryan Reynolds and Scarlett Johansson got divorced, so then 1 year after that, he ended up marrying Blake Lively after she was seen in relationships with Penn Badgley, Leonardo DiCaprio, and also Ben Affleck.
That same pattern re-emerged years later during the production of It Ends With Us, when rumors began circulating about her growing connection with co-star Justin Baldoni. The alleged affair was said to be emotional rather than physical, but the intimacy between them was undeniable.
At one point in time, Ben Affleck and Ryan Reynolds were friends because they did the 2006 movie Smoking Aces together, which was a hit, making $58 million on a budget of $17 million. And then in 2014, the studios wanted to work with Ryan Reynolds and Ben Affleck again on another movie which was described as a detective movie.
Lively's history of emotional affairs raises as many questions as it answers. These weren't casual flirtations, her bonds with co-stars have consistently run deep, often blurring the line between professional chemistry and personal entanglement, even during committed relationships.
Everything we're reading, it's not a lawsuit. I want you guys to know that we are not observing publicly back and forth a lawsuit. What we are observing is essentially a ticking time bomb, a timer on Ryan Reynolds' ego.
From Penn Badgley to Ben Affleck, from Ryan Reynolds to Justin Baldoni, the pattern is hard to ignore. Lively's most intense on-screen pairings have frequently spilled over into off-screen attachments, suggesting she's drawn to forging deep romantic connections with those she works alongside, especially when the role demands raw emotional intimacy.
Is that Blake Lively developed some feelings for for Justin Baldoni on set. Has happened to her. She has, been in love with Penn Badgley from, Gossip Girl, then she got with Ryan Reynolds. All these people, they're on set and their job is to sell that they're falling in.
Now comes Jennifer Garner's most explosive revelation, a direct attack on the darker side of Blake Lively's love life. Having endured the devastation of infidelity herself, Garner claims she understands the real motive behind Lively's repeated romantic entanglements. In her view, these connections aren't just about physical chemistry, they're rooted in deep emotional dissatisfaction with her marriage to Ryan Reynolds.
A lot of times, as we see with actors and actresses, it actually happens, and there's no question in my mind that Blake Lively caught real feelings for Justin Baldoni. That comes across when you read his filings and you see how easily he disputes all of her narratives. And the thing is why I say this is not a real lawsuit.
Garner has been outspoken in her belief that Reynolds, beneath his polished charm and quick wit, may be concealing a far more complicated truth. She suggests his emotional struggles stem from long-buried issues dating back to his childhood, a foundation, she claims, that has left his marriage to Lively fractured from the inside out.
She invited him to her penthouse and like he was holding her baby. Like the guy that sexually you're not having him to your house and letting him hold your kids. Like this is 10 times worse than the Amber Heard lawsuit. It will be 10 times worse.
According to Garner, Lively's romantic escapades, including her alleged emotional affair with Justin Baldoni, were less about temptation and more about survival. She accuses Lively of using her co-stars as emotional lifelines, filling a void left by Reynolds' inability, or unwillingness, to provide the intimacy she craved. And at the heart of this accusation lies Garner's most incendiary claim that Reynolds' hidden identity may be the key to understanding it all.
Is Lively a beard? Like, is she there just to produce kids and to give them that family image?
Garner has even suggested that Reynolds could be closeted with women like Blake Lively, serving as beards to preserve the illusion of a traditional marriage. If true, this theory would explain Lively's repeated pattern of forming deep emotional attachments with male co-stars, connections she may have been seeking to replace the intimacy she wasn't finding at home.
10 times worse for Blake Lively if she is meant to hit this stand. And what alarms me, and this is quite ironic, it's like a dark irony here, is this film is about domestic abuse. What is happening now, in my view, is Ryan Reynolds is now abusing his wife. This is like litigation abuse. He is trying to inflict pain. Again, this is my perspective, pain and punishment because he has come undone, realizing that she had some sort of like an emotional affair with Justin Baldoni.
Fueling the speculation is Reynolds' famously close, almost inseparable bond with Hugh Jackman.